Well, Monte Carlo is certainly tightening on up, and now we've got a proper heavyweight quarterfinal lineup to look ahead to. The two biggest names in the draw, Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, took some stumbles and were pushed to the edge but progressed their way through to the final eight. A Brazilian teenager is crashing into his first Masters 1000 quarterfinal, and a hometown hero is rewriting history books on the daily. No upsets overnight, but plenty of warning signs. And now it is quarter-final time. As always, make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel if you're enjoying the content to stay up to date with all of your tennis and other sports news. But let's get into it. Let's start with the Day 6 recap. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, they were both tested. They both fought through in 3 sets. Alcaraz taking it over Thomas Martin Etcheverry, Sinner over Thomas Mahach. They weren't dominant. They showed some bumps, but they found solutions when it mattered. For Sinner, post-match, he admitted fatigue is creeping in and he flagged that his recovery is going to be so key and he's not sure how it will be ahead of his quarterfinal. And that will be a key watch heading into his quarterfinal matchup as we look at how they shape. Alexander Bublik, elsewise, he defeated Yuri Lehechka, getting it done there. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on. Straight sets for Bublik. That controlled chaos and variation certainly set him up well. He broke the rhythm of Lehechka, didn't let him settle, and was too strong in that. Some of the other top seeds, they held firm. Alex de Minaur and Alexander Zverev through in straights, both efficient and professional. No real wasted energy as they advanced through to quarterfinals and looking with their eyes onwards, not just further into this tournament, but as they eye off the other Masters 1000s on the way to the French Open and Roland Garros itself. Felix Auger-Aliassime was also a winner in a big result, defeating Casper Ruud. This was a tough one to pick, but FAA outclassed a man who is one of the best clay courters on tour at his best. It was a statement performance and shows that window of form we saw in 2025 is continuing into 2026, and he is a name certainly on the rise as he sits now 5th in the live rankings and nips at the heels of Novak Djokovic in 4th. Can he go on a bit more of a run? Can he start to do some damage and climb further in the rankings? Only time will tell. And of course, João Fonseca defeating Matteo Berrettini, a breakout moment for the young Brazilians. 94% of first serve points won. He had the crowd on their feet with a dominant first serve. He dictated the match of tempo and wonderful angles. Some of the shots that he found to go and pull them back across court or down lines, shots that he had no right to be able to turn around from the angles and positions he was in, but he looked like it was just absolutely second nature. He played with composure well beyond his years, and a huge congratulations to him. This is his first Masters 1000 quarterfinal at just 19 years of age, and well deserved, but it's only going to get tougher from here for the young Brazilian. And last but not least, in terms of the overnight action, Valentin Vacherot got past Hubert Hurkacz in 3 sets, 6-7, 6-3, 6-4, becomes the first Monegasque player to reach the Monte Carlo quarterfinals in the Masters 1000 era. He pushed himself up to 19 in the live rankings, his first entry into the top 20. Absolutely phenomenal, and backs up that Masters 1000 win at Shanghai, the tournament win late last year in 2025. He fed off the crowd. He had all of that hometown support. He saved multiple break points late, and it was an emotional finish, pure home tournament moment. The big frame of the 6'4" Monegasque man crashed to the clay after he won the match point, seeing off Hubert Hurkacz and pushing him through into that quarterfinal. As we said, becomes the first Monegasque man to do so. He and his half-brother had both got through to the 3rd round previously here. He'd equaled that record in the last round, but he gets forward there. In terms of the usual upset of the day, none. There is no one here. Every match was taken by the higher-ranked player in the round of 16, but there was certainly plenty of pressure moments that could have flipped. We take our hats off to a couple of those players who managed to take some sets off the likes of Alcaraz and Sinner, but the top numbers roll on, and that sets up some mouth-watering quarterfinals and our quarterfinal previews. Let's start and let's run through them in terms of the order of play for tomorrow. And the day will start with João Fonseca versus Alexander Zverev. It's the first time these two go head-to-head on tour. Fonseca, the natural clay movement, explosive off both wings and riding confidence like he's never seen before in his young career. Zverev, he's going to stick to that heavy baseline game, the elite backhand, and he's had really strong form this year. You know that if he takes it on and he gets going forward and driving the tempo of the match, that's when he plays his best tennis. Zverev, look, his Monte Carlo record is solid but not dominant. He's only made it to the semi-finals twice here before in 10 attempts, 2018 and 2022. Never any further for Fonseca. It's his first Masters quarterfinal. Will it be the pressure of expectation on the young Brazilian, or will it be the freedom of nil from his own camp? This is the first time he's been here. He's got nothing to lose. It's all about which narrative he might lean into. If Fonseca can swing freely, there's some real danger on the cards for Zverev. Zverev has to control the depth and tempo and utilize his experience. I like the exuberance of youth. I'm going to lean to Fonseca here. I'm going to back the run to continue on. I'm going to back him to claim this one in 3 sets. A win here for him would be absolutely huge. It'd see him continue to catapult up those rankings and obviously build him some confidence heading further into this European clay court season. But I think we'll be seeing plenty of João Fonseca. Next up, Felix Auger Aliassime up against Jannik Sinner. Head-to-head, Sinner 4-2. Not a bad record for anyone against Jannik Sinner, to be fair, but Sinner has won the last 4 clashes, which were all in 2025. They have only played once before on clay. It was way back in 2022 in Madrid, and Felix Auger Aliassime actually won that meeting. But look at the form of these two on clay over the last couple of years. Both have won 22 matches. The difference, Auger Aliassime 14 losses, Sinner just 4 since the start of 2024. Sinner will be relentless with his baseline pressure. The serve will be on. He will absorb and redirect pace. And as we saw in his third round match, he knows how to fight back if he does get broken or taken down a peg. FAA, the big serve, the forehand, he has to dictate early. He has to make this quick if he is going to somehow find a way to upset the world number 2. Sinner just needs to get back to his consistency point to point, which is exactly what you'd expect he'll deliver. How he manages the fatigue, he touched on that in his post-match press conference, or was he just foxing to try and draw FAA in? FAA needs short points, overpower, get it done. If he gets into a grind, Sinner's going to take him to work. I think it's just a pretty straightforward one, this one. Despite the fatigue, I think Jannik Sinner gets this one done in straight sets. Next up, another first-up meeting, and is Carlos Alcaraz versus Alexander Bublik. It's kind of hard to believe that these guys have never met on tour. Alcaraz, variety, movement, creativity. He is elite on clay. We know that. He's only dropped 1 match since the start of last year on clay, which gives you an idea of just how good he is. Bublik, well, he's nice and fresh. His total court time for this tournament so far, about 2.5 hours, which is exactly equal to what Carlos played in his last match. Bublik's going to try and disrupt. Alcaraz likely will lean into it. Variety is the key for both of these. This could be chaos squared. These two guys will certainly be enthralling to watch, but whether Bublik can go with Carlos in this one is the big question. Alcaraz loves the unpredictability, and that's Bublik's main weapon usually. Bublik really plays into Alcaraz's hands. I think that he's too complete, and this matchup actually suits him quite nicely. It'll be a hell of a match to watch, though, but I've got Alcaraz in straight sets. And last but not least, we've got Alex de Minaur up against the hometown hero, Valentin Vacherot. Again, for the 3rd time in these 4 quarterfinals, the first up meeting on tour. De Minaur, speed, coverage, counterpunching, and his improved clay confidence will have him full of vim and vigor. Vacherot, he's got the power, that big 6'4" frame. He's definitely going to have the crowd energy and the emotional momentum. But is there some expectation now too, after he won a Masters 1000 last year and is now on home soil? De Minaur gets the win, will return to his equal career high of number 6. Vacherot, he's already on his career best run. He's already into the top 20 and can only go higher. Not a lot to lose, a lot of excitement and expectation. We'll see what the home crowd delivers for him. For an unusual situation for Alex de Minaur, he's usually loved by most crowds, but the crowd will undoubtedly be against him today. De Minaur is the fresher. He is the more structured player. He's going to try and take him into a grind and run him around and work him. Vacherot's taken out plenty of big scalps before. We know that in the last 12 months, and this won't concern him. He won't have any fear when it comes to de Minaur. This is going to be some contrasting styles, but I've got de Minaur grinding it out in 3. Well, Monte Carlo is delivering exactly what we want. Stars pushing through, storylines and interesting things emerging. Pressure tennis is on our doorstep for the last 8 players. The quarterfinals locked in, and now it's about who can take that next step. Can anyone take that chink down, take down Alcaraz? Will there be an emerging run? Who will get there? That will all be determined as to who pushes the semifinals tonight. Make sure, if you haven't already, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get those notifications, and make sure to stay locked into our socials as well to get all those sports short snippets at The Chris Mack Show on your favourite social media platform. We'll go again tomorrow with more Monte Carlo action, but stay tuned in the meantime for plenty of other sports action. And a huge thanks for tuning in to your home of the Black and White of Sports. No great opinions here.